Rob, there was another clip that you had. The one, here's one with Piers, right, where she's talking about. Go ahead and play this clip. This is about Israel, Iran, complete different position. Go ahead, Rob.
Under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, Article 19, dishonourable discharge can result in forfeiture of all pay and allowances up to 5 years confinement, which is a pretty heavy penalty to pay.
Yeah, I'd want my kids to go to jail before they fought for Israel. I'll say that honestly.
Okay,
I would. I have 3 sons, and I'm going to be honest with you, Piers. I'm glad you told me that consequence. I'd take that consequence any day to them being sent back over in a coffin because they died for Israel. So.
Okay, but I think the one thing you're missing, look, I come from a big military family, a lot of military in my family, and a lot of people fighting wars on behalf of the United States are not doing it because they think Bibi Netanyahu wants them to. They're doing it because
some of them do that, and they write into my show and I answer the question.
But many of them won't, and they might be offended by you suggesting that's the only reason they're doing it.
And they can watch your show, and they can be offended all they want, but I think it's more offensive the way that our military is treated, the veterans are treated, and the gaslighting that takes place when we're told that we have to defend everybody's borders but our own.
I actually think America treats its veterans better than almost any country in the world.
I mean, this has always been an open conversation, and I'm just saying that if my boys were being drafted to fight this war in Iran, I would be like, you know what, honey, take the other option. And that's not because it's cowardice. It's because when you sign up for the military...
Okay, but I would say that the pilots...
you are pledging that you are doing something that is going to better your country.
But Candace,
and like I said, our country has been in steep decline since we have been part of this foreign policy, which is just whatever Israel wants.
Okay, but you made that point, but what
By the way, shout out to Piers, who just crossed 4 million. And shout out to Candace for being on Piers and them having a conversation. Do you agree with her position on the 3 sons? I wouldn't want them to join the military today to fight for Israel.
As a veteran, as an angry patriot, she has the right to say that. And, because mind you, I backed up and I said, what do you mean by I would much rather have my sons go to prison than have them fight for Israel? No, unless there is a draft, unless there's a war where we don't have any soldiers, well, thank God to Pete Hegseth and what he's doing, that the numbers are going up and we're going to be okay. I don't like Israel getting dragged into something just to make a point, because nobody's dying for Israel when they signed the oath. When we signed the oath, we signed up to do what, Pat? To the Constitution, to serve America, okay? But the freedoms, what Candace is not alluding to, like you get to be who you are, was brought to you by the people who did what she says she never let her own kids do. So you understand? Like, she gets to say what she wants to say because people like us signed up and defended this country so you could say and do whatever you want. She has the right to do it. I'm not a huge fan of it because nobody's dying for Israel. I signed up to fight at any cost and protect any cost the United States of America.
What percentage of people you think joined the military to fight wars for Israel? What percentage of Americans joined the military to fight for Israel? What would you say?
0%. No, I mean, hold on. If this percentage of Jewish people in the military that signed up to do that,
I don't know if I met a single Jew in the military. I literally don't know if I've met a single Jew in the military.
That's a very good point. I don't think I
Did you ever meet a Jew in the military?
No.
I don't know if Jews join the military.
I'm going to be honest with you.
They do.
Great. I've never even
No,
I've never met a Jew.
IDF. I don't know if I met one
American soldier.
I don't know if I met one. So we got 1.3 million active duty personnel, 8 to 10,000 Jewish service members. Do the percentage on it, on how it matches with the population. That translates to what? Less than 1%, 0.6 to 0.8% of military population. What percentage of the U.S. population is the Jewish community? Okay, so got it. So they're 2% of the U.S. population. So nearly a third of whatever the U.S. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's not a lot of Jews. I don't know if I ever met a single Jew in the military.
I'm telling you, I didn't. I was in for.
I don't know if people joined to fight Israel. Adam, your thoughts on this? On the comments here about the 3 boys, 3 sons.
No, I mean, let's just. You join the American military to fight for America. Period. Full stop. It's such a stupid premise to think that anybody is joining the military to fight for Israel. It just shows how deranged Israel. Derangement syndrome has seeped in, because here's the reality. Everything she talked about, none of it came to fruition. Can we acknowledge that? Is that she's saying, de-enlist from the military. What's it called? Dishonorable discharge. I want you to do this. You're not going to die for Israel. Yeah, 0 boots are on the ground, Candace. 0, not 1. By the way, the hypothetical war against Iran, where 0 boots were on the ground and we just dropped some bunker bombs, 0 boots. But by the way, when they're fighting Hezbollah and they're fighting Hamas and they're fighting the Houthis and they're fighting radical jihadists all around the region, 0 boots on the ground. So to me, it's such a stupid premise and non-starter that it's just complete fear porn, and all you Gen Z idiots are falling for it. And then I said this on the last podcast, Donald Trump dismantled George W. Bush and Jeb Bush. Please clap. So what makes you think that Donald Trump, the person who campaigned on not having stupid endless wars, was going to get into a quagmire in the Middle East of stupid endless wars? How uninformed and misinformed are you? Or do you have an agenda? I don't know. Is fear porn your business model? I don't know. Because have any American troops been on the ground? You talk about what percentage of Jews joined the American military. I know 100% of Israelis joined the IDF. I know that. But 0 boots on the ground, yet you're selling the fear porn that we're all going to die for Israel. It's such a stupid premise. And it just shows where Candace is at. And I actually like Candace. Like, anytime I've hung out with Candace, I actually think she's a cool person. I just think she's genuinely been infected with this very, very sickening disease.
So I didn't serve in the military, but I've known many, many, many people, including the patriots and the heroes that are sitting at this table, who have. And it's very interesting, in Los Angeles, to Adam's point, I had not 1, not 2, but 3 classmates that I remember at Pepperdine when I was getting my master's were either going in after or had been American citizens and went and served 2 years in the IDF. Out of family heritage, and they're, I am an American, but I'm going to go serve my 2 years in the IDF. But everyone that was in the U.S. military, you always ask them, where did you go? Oh, I was in Grenada. Oh, it's many, many years ago, but I was stationed here. I was in the Philippines for this long. We have a very tremendously good friend and business colleague from the Philippines that served in the U.S. Marine Corps and went many places. So anyone that serves in the U.S. military, you go somewhere in the U.S. military and you defend and serve. So which mom is going to pick which country that they don't want their son or daughter serving to go to? Don't we in the U.S. military kind of end up going everywhere and serving everywhere? And sometimes those are hot theaters, and hot theaters in military terminology is an active engagement with real things that are going off. And so I don't know. I feel like this is a strong feeling about Israel, but if you step back and look at it more broadly in terms of service, and I know it's a hot issue right now and there's a lot going on, and I respect Candace as well, but which moms are going to say, I don't want my kids going to Sudan. I don't want my kids going to Uzbekistan to sit in there. I don't want my kids going to the Karbala Gap.
Yeah.
I mean, where does it stop?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things here, okay, that you go through. One, everybody's brainwashed and everybody brainwashes. Everybody. Let me say that one more time. Everybody's brainwashed and everybody's brainwashing. The question is, are you using soap? Are they using no soap on you? Is it nasty? Is it dirty water? What is it? But there's no one that's not brainwashing or being brainwashed. Let me unpack that for you. For many years, our jobs was to convince people that being a business owner, an entrepreneur, can help your family's dreams become a reality. And these are people that have never thought about doing that before. And then eventually, you can use the word persuasion, whatever you want to call it. I was always told, John Maxwell said it best. He says, persuasion is a gift. He said, but be very careful once you learn really how to persuade, to not be tempted to manipulate. Because it's the same skill set. But in persuasion, everybody wins. In manipulation, you win, they lose. Because you're destroying people's lives, right, when you're manipulating. I think a lot of people have fallen for this trap of getting caught with hate, with anger, with rage, and the deeper they get into it, it gets worse and worse and worse. And then eventually the example becomes of the following. You have to be so careful. In poker, they call it something. Whenever you're at a table and this happens at blackjack, but typically it's more on, the phrase is more used on poker when you're playing.
No limit hold'em.
And you're in, you go full in, you're supposed to win, you got pocket aces. And all of a sudden, river comes in, boom, you lose. And I was supposed to win that. And then you buy in another $5,000, and then all of a sudden, you're not playing reckless. Now you're going in hands you should have never gone into. Now you're raising on hands you would have never raised before, and you know it's not the right thing to raise 210, but you're thinking, you know, the what do you call it? It's going to show 210
on the flop.
And on the flop, and you go, I got the, and you're just chasing to get that money back, right? What's that phrase called? Tilt. Tilt. Mm-hmm. That happens in politics. That happens in life. That happens in so many different things, and sometimes once the point is made and you continue, then all of a sudden the phrase in too deep, that you start saying certain things and believing certain things that maybe you never initially believed in anyways, but now it's exaggerated. Now you're fully committed to it. I think the biggest thing with that phrase is I joined the military proudly. And while we were in there, they were doing the anthrax deal. That was the biggest controversy. Are you going to take the shot? You're not going to take the shot. I'm not going to take the shot.
People were getting
you have to take the shot. Your government property and 8 years and da-da-da-da-da and all the stuff that you're going through, right? The debate is healthy. It's necessary. But the moment you lose pride in your country, you know, I'm a Christian, right? The Catholic Church, what movies have they made about Catholic Church? What is the biggest criticism they say about the Catholic Church? Spotlight was about what?
Spotlight was about the Boston Archdiocese and how they were covering up. Basically,
this is a Tom Hanks movie.
No. It was Michael Keaton.
Keaton.
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. Oh, by the way, fantastic.
How many movies have they made about what happens in the Catholic Church?
Da Vinci.
A lot. How many have they made about what happens to boys in Catholic churches?
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah, a good amount.
Does that mean all Catholics are like that?
Not at all.
No.
How many things do you hear? Like even we talk about Muslims, right? And we say certain things about Muslims. And you hear about what? Extremists. Does that mean all of them are like that?
Not at all.
No. How many bad businessmen are there who, insurance, Armenian, insurance fraud, Glendale, does that mean all Armenians are like that? How many criticism about Jews, and does that mean all of them are? The question then becomes military pride. My loyalty is to the Constitution that allowed me to have a life that I can have my opinion and we can have discourse and debate and sit there and say, I agree, I disagree. And I totally support that. But the moment you lose pride in the country that gave you the opportunity to have the freedom of speech and you no longer have pride in that to fight for that, what are you willing to fight for? I think it's a slippery slope that you're going. And God willing, she's able to code through it, because when you're that talented and capable, you attract a lot of people that say, you're right. And if you're always only around people that are saying, you're right, so it creates a lot of blind spots. Yeah. And one day you wake up, you're like, whoa, I was wrong. But do I want to really say that to the public at that level? No. Let me double down. So here's what it means. When you go and do tariffs, Trump did, you better be right.
You're damn right.
When you go out there and your name is Musk and they say Trump was an Epstein, you better be right and you better show the receipts.
Yeah.
When you go up there and you better bring it up, right? You better be right. That is the part. You better be right. The range of people that follow The Future Looks Bright, it's absolutely amazing. Seeing people in airports wearing Angry Patriot gear, Future Looks Bright gear, all over the place. Exciting times. And it's 4th of July, and we love America, and we love freedom. And if you do as well, you love the brand, Valuetainment, you love America, you believe in Future Looks Bright, this is a way for you to support your brands. This is why we don't take sponsorship money. We do it through the businesses that we run. And by the way, we are shameless capitalists. We don't hide it. We believe in capitalism. We believe this is the way to make the money so you don't have to go in, have to be loyal to somebody that's giving you money. Our loyalty is to you. We talk to you raw, open. And if you like it, you don't like it, great. You get to connect us and say, Pat, I disagree with you. I can't believe you said this. And if you agree, great. We talk about it as well. So this weekend, 4th of July, we have a blowout sale up to 60%. On top of that, we have the women's line that also came out. Rob, if you go to the website, there's a women's line as well that we have out there. If you go on the collection and you go to ladies collection, ladies, you ask for it. We now have some gear. Big influence of this is Jennifer David, who said, we need to get some ladies gear. Future Looks Bright. I will also give a shout out to Kim, because Kim's been telling me that she wears the short sleeves when she goes golfing. So thank Jen and Kim for a lot of this. So anybody that places an order over $400 of merch, myself, Vinny, and Tom will be FaceTiming you. And I swear to God, if anybody decides to return anything, Adam will be FaceTiming you.
Yes.
It's true.
He already volunteered
true.
for that. So we appreciate Adam's support for doing that. He's the best retention guy we have in the company. But $400 will be FaceTiming you guys to
Don't
talk
make
to
me
you.
come over to your house.
And he will, buddy. He will.
I will.
All right. Go to vtmerch.com. Place your order if you believe future looks bright. Get some of the gear. Sport it everywhere you go. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.